I think I'm live. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you why I'm so freaking late today. Because it seems we may have a new friend in the family. My little bratlet and my darling organized wife have convinced me that it won't be any hassle at all for us to have a new dog. So we've done the pound rescue thing, and that is how we are. Yes, we're going to go pick up our new dog, who I'm trying to call Huzzah, much to my my family's disgust and amusement. I would like to call the dog Huzzah. What do we think of this camera, by the way? I'm trying to use this Sony camera that I've got and see how that works. It looks a bit jerky, doesn't it? Mr. Clean, you were pretty sure that I was going to get a dog, were you? I'm so glad you were. I was not. Yeah, I feel like how do we like the video on this, by the way? So we've got this, or we go back to the webcam. Hello, kitty, cholo cat. Cholo cat. I can try this too. Let's see what I've got here. I have a Hewley cam somewhere as well, didn't I? Is that Hewley cam? Oh, I've changed Hewley cam. Okay, so if I change Hewley cam to something else, what else do I have in here? I've got a whole bunch of things. So what's 3 cameras? What do we got there? Okay, so that's all right. So that's the one. If I get rid of that, can I get rid of this? Nope, that's the wrong one to get rid of. Let's get rid of this one and get rid of this one, and then I can show you. Well, squirrel cam. We kind of want squirrel cam, don't we? So it needs to be a bit higher, I guess. Let's do that. Does that help at all if I go over here? So I've been playing with the cameras, as you can tell. I wanted to see if there's a way of using a better camera. Basically, I've got this really nice sort of mirrorless DSLR that I've been playing with. I mean, if I do that, I still feel like that almost needs to be. Get that out of the way. I don't know why it's cutting off so much of the. It needs to be cutting off so much of the actual image. It's weird. Meh. Okay, so yeah, so I'm trying out this little Sony camera. I've got the rat cam. I think I basically have to call it rat cam at this point because it's such a it's such a lovely thing to behold. I've got an emote thanks to Shutterfoot subscription. Thank you, Shutterfoot. Oh my gosh, look at all these people. I'm already behind on the chat. How's that even possible? What do you mean, how's it possible? How's it possible for me not to? The Real Hellcat. Hello, Real Hellcat. Shutterfoot. No Name. Ow! Dommyman 9000. Bertley. Zenos. Deadman Walkin 1003. Mr. Clean. Turtle Princess. Polynomial. Yeah, it keeps going out of focus. Is that what it is? Is it a focus issue? I mean, I could just set the focus, I guess. But it's just a nice camera. So I thought it would be nice to sort of drag in some of the old tech. I also have it here. I have this GoPro, which I would love to incorporate in some way. What I'm actually trying to do now is build a little enclosure for the lens so that I can put it onto this kick-ass old clinical microscope that I've got. So while I still have tiny cam, I can have truly tiny camera because it's cellular level microscopic stuff. Like seems like we're doing a lot of focusing movement. Yes. I wonder if there's got to be a better way of setting that up, isn't there? Of course, it all has to be done sort of in reverse. So I have to go like here. Oh my god, this is like so funny. So one of these buttons will do things. So I should be able to bring up instructions here for how to. Oh, look at that. I think there you go. So does that help me do? Nope. No. So, oh, what's that? That's like a full screen. I like that. Although it says single shooting on it, which I don't particularly like. Is there a way to change that. I'm just sort of playing with it now because it just be kind of fun to have. I just feel like if you got a nice lens and a nice camera, I would have thought that the quality would be a little nicer. And it's being streamed through this AverMedia thing, which I was already using for my. I'm already using it for my what's a tiny cam thing. So, and of course, I think the Squirrel cam may become rather, well, slightly, should we say, slightly less populated by squirrels if we have our huzzah friend here. So we are a big believer in dogs from the pound. In fact, not even a big believer. We're frankly quite judgy about everybody who doesn't do that. Just because I feel like there's so many amazing dogs in the pound these days. So Jane and Baz ganged up on me. They said, "Do you want a dog?" I said no, and it wasn't Steve. Shutterfoot, it wasn't Steve. So Steve had some hip issues that we were like, yeah, no, that's totally great. We should totally do hip issues because we're used to that with Mars. And they said, yes, but we have this other dog called Han, as in Han Solo. We're not keeping that. In fact, the foster parent for this dog liked the dog so much that she called her Lilu. Let's see if anyone knows what Lilu is. There's got to be some nerds out there who knows what Lilu is. So she's renamed her Lilu because of how much she was attached to this dog. And someone in there you got it. Saren Smith, well done. Fifth Element. Yeah, Fifth Element. So it's basically the love, Lilu. So they obviously really like it. Lilu, oh my God, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is, trans rights, Rodney McKay. So Stitch and Lilu. Oh, Lilu. No, is that Lilu? No, that's not Lilu, is it? Big Badoom. Nice, Cal. Thank you. Cal will, I'm sure, feel my pain where my family has gone against my iron will and said that they're getting a dog anyways. How do I change this? It's driving me crazy. Okay, so if I do, what does this function do? How is that? I because I can't see the screen. It's this one of the only issues I've had with this little Sony is I just hate. I hate the fact that I can't see the screen. You have to be facing it like a traditional camera, and of course, me being me. Let me just point this over here and see if I can control it at all from here. So if I go to here, I have to disconnect it to do this. Okay, all right. So as always, isn't this fun? I get to play with things online while you all have to put up with it. Okay, so manual focus. No, we probably want autofocus, right? Or maybe I should just set manual focus. Maybe I just set manual focus and do that. Or there's DMF. Something. Autofocus, manual focus, DMF. I don't know what DMF means, but it sounds so good. There's a lot of squirrels? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Squirrel Cam is not disappointing today, but it will soon because, guess what? Dogs. Once we have a dog, I have a horrible feeling we will not be seeing a lot of squirrels. Just saying. Okay, so someone's saying that if I go in here and I do my menu and I go to the camera or the setup, maybe. What if I go to setup? Manual focus assist on. Manual focus assist time. 2 seconds. I don't know what that means. Color space, steady shot. Yeah, why not? Release without lens. Front curtain shutter, whatever. I want to see what happens about this. I want to see what happens when I try to change the output a little bit here, because I'd like it to show the screen without showing all this stuff. Help, area settings, power settings, LCD brightness, manual, viewfinder brightness, display color, wide angle, playback display, auto rotate, fine, auto HDMI resolution. Oh, I can choose that? Ooh. I like 1080p, don't you? So do I. Okay. USB for mass storage. Do auto, I guess, on that. Cleaning mode, version, initialize. I don't see anything in the way of where my HDMI is going. So, okay. So I guess that's done. Image size, brightness, application, playback. I think under camera is my best bet. Okay, so display button, LCD display, display all info. What are my choices? No display info. Look at that. How's that? Is that gonna do it? Let's see if that works. Oh, still has the same stuff on, so I don't quite understand that. Display, display, display. I don't think it's changed it at all. I think that's the best you get right there. Right there. Oh, that is very crooked. All right, so do that. And I need to get your HDMI back in again, wherever I may have put that. Here we go. Okay, let's see what we've got going here now then. So nice to just be able to hang out and try all these things out with you. Okay, so let's try that. There we go. Okay, so it's got autofocus. It's a nice wide angle too, isn't it? I mean, it's slightly wider than the webcam up here. I would assume that it looks darker as the image is probably flatter. Yes, it looks better now. I feel like it does look a little better, but I'm very curious to see if it's in sync with the other one. Yeah, it's moving the same. Okay, great. We'll keep an eye on it. If you see things going weird, it'll be like it'll be interesting to see if it's going to work. So, so I've got Tech Bandits tomorrow. PC Bandits, actually. So we're to be talking about gaming. I'm going to change. I think I'm just going to call it Game Bandits, because then it sort of encompasses everything. We're finding my sound keeps cutting out. Does it? Is that just me, or is that? Let me double check. No problem. Sound problems here. Okay, so audio's fine. Okay, right. So unless 1,000 people say there's a sound problem, I'm afraid it's probably Jack and Kaz. Jack and Kaz, you've had issues with this before, haven't you, Jack and Kaz? Cal's like, no, that sounds fine. Remember, unless that's it. See, I was already quoting you, Cal, before you even got that out there. Remember, unless 90%, as the wise Cal once told me. Remember, unless 90% of chat says it's bah, yeah. she just ignored. So it's cutting out for Jack and Kaz, but it's probably Jack and Kaz that you need to be looking at your setup. Oh, where's James Gurney? I didn't even see James come in. James, you around? James. Oh, hi, James. James, have you finished reading that Stargate RPG stuff yet? I've read the first section. I haven't got to character creation yet, although I'm assuming it's very similar to the D&D stuff. I was telling Baz, because the tendency with D&D is to, especially when you're a kid, or you're a 54-year-old kid, or however old I am. How old am I now? I have to ask Jane. I can never remember. So, somewhere in the 50s. So, the problem I always had was I wanted to roll 20s for everything. Like, I wanted natural 20s for every single possible attribute for my characters. So, I cheated all the time. It's like Monopoly. I used to carry around like $500 bills from Monopoly in my pocket, just in case the family wanted to play Monopoly, so I could be planning ahead. It's important if you're going to cheat, you got to cheat well and slightly obsessively. So, but what I was explaining to Baz is that the truth is with like any kind of Dungeons and Dragons game, you want there to be flaws in your character. You want them bad at something, because that's what makes the game so much fun. Like, if you've got a total klutz on your team, that's that is a huge advantage in the storytelling process for Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So, although again, I speak from having watched and read. I haven't played. This was always my issue, right? I never played with anyone. I had a Commodore 64 that I used to program to be my dungeon master, like that, because I tried it. I usually roll NAT 1 on advantage. See, I don't even know what that means. The real Hellcat says, so true. The characters where I misrolled during creation usually were the most fun ones. And also, like, if you roll a 3 or a 1 when you're in battle or you're trying to do something, it's just so funny because you get to, you step out into the fray, instantly tripping over your own laces and landing in a puddle of steaming something, of dragon something. So and that just makes for such a better story. I mean, if McKay was any more brilliant or any more perfect, it just wouldn't have worked. I mean, it's the flaws that make characters exciting. Speaking of exciting characters, holy huzzah, as I would say. Who is watching The Great? Is anyone watching The Great? Cal, are you watching The Great? I think I've already bored Cal with this. James, you should watch. You should watch the Great as well. Jane made me sit down with it. I thought, oh no, it's another girls series that I'm not with awkward sex and things that I won't be able to watch. And so I sat down in a dutiful way with my wife, and I was absolutely enthralled. Like I made her watch the entire series in like a week. Like we got through like 10 of them. First tabletop I played was a Lord of the Rings game. I managed to roll an appearance of 6 out of 100. Woo! He is ugly. That James, he's uglier than Sauron. That's good. That's very good. I like that. So I didn't realize you were actually rolling for appearance as well. I like that. Like, you roll the dice. It's what genetics gives you. Bertley's not a D&D player, but I play tabletop games, and perfect playthroughs are not often as memorable as those fun, clumsy ones. Very true. Oh yeah, it's on my to-watch list. It looks great. It really is. I cannot recommend this show enough. I was enthralled. I don't even want a season 2. I almost don't want it to continue because I just don't want them to mess it up in any way. It was so perfect to me. The acting, the writing, the gorgeous sets, and it was just, that's SETS, just to be very clear. Yeah, it's absolutely extraordinary show, so I'd highly, highly recommend it. It's not science fiction, but it might as well be, because it's like a different world. And that's why I want to call once people watch it, they'll know what I mean when I say I want to call the dog Huzzah. Because the way they use it, it's fantastic. So, and I've never heard of a dog called Huzzah, so I think frankly, what I'm going to do is basically say, I'm going to just call the dog Huzzah, and they can call it whatever they want. Because that's just the way it's going to be. In my house, my rules, yeah, like I said, they said, literally, we had a family meeting and said, do you want a dog? Is it time for us to get a dog? And I said, no. And everyone went around and said why they wanted a dog. And I said, I really don't want a dog. I've had a dog, and I just think of the city, wandering around with a bag, cleaning up after a dog. I don't want to do it again. I loved my dog, and I just want to leave it at that. I'm happy to mourn Mars and move on. And now we have another little dire wolf to deal with. So you will meet dire wolf tomorrow. In fact, why don't I introduce you to her I'll get Baz to introduce you to her on Tech Bandits tomorrow, because I'm sure the bandits will want to meet her as well, I'm sure. I guess I should tweet that I'm doing this too, shouldn't I? I feel bad. I just sort of show up. Anyway, that's the reason why I was so late, was we were dealing with all these. There's so many adoption forms now. Like when we first got Mars, it was like, do you want him? We're like, oh, I guess so. And dire wolf, basically. Jack and Cass, yeah. It's like more of a dire wolf than a dire wolf. We've never had a dire wolf. None of our dogs have ever been, tough enough to warrant even the dire part of the wolf. Yeah, it's a squirrel wonderland out there today. They really are. They're going to frolic and enjoy. And then all you're going to see from now on is probably, Huzzah's butt sitting there wagging a tail or sticking her face in the window wondering why I'm not playing with her because, I don't have a dog. So what else can we talk about? I've got a bunch of things. I'm trying to figure out. Actually, this might be a good question for the chat. I want to put an extension cable on my webcam because ideally I'd like to have. Well, I want a webcam up here so that we can see what's going on down here, and then I can get into some fun stuff with the Tech Bandits of actually being able to see what's being like printed or CNC cut or lasered or any of that kind of stuff. Or even the build for this new Prusa, which I have yet to get to. So the idea is I want to get an overhead camera of some sort that I can figure out. I even wondered about maybe just putting a board up that I could sort of slide it along. But for that, again, I need an extension cable, which I think I've got enough for the USB now. But how long can you go with a USB 3 cable before the signal deteriorates, and that you need like a repeater and stuff. I'm curious to know that. Black Thunder. It's a nice name. I like that too. That's good. Uh, Zorbashimo Mom. How are you? Hello. He did say that, but Jane and Baz said otherwise. Yeah. I got outvoted. I'm completely got outvoted. I did not want a dog again. I don't want a dog again. I don't want a dog. I'm not going to be nice to it. I'm not even going to pet it. I'm just going to ignore it the entire time. If it gets in the way, well, huzzah. And I'm going to refer to it as huzzah the entire time. So there you go. A Bluetooth webcam. Well, that's interesting. You should say that because these little babies. So this little Hero Black 7. Hero Black? Is it a Hero Black or just a GoPro? Are they heroes now? Are they still heroes? The original was a hero. I was looking at I was like, wait a second, what am I going to do with this? Because I've got this old Hero. It was a nice little camera, and I wanted to use it. There's no freaking way. I can't even find attachments for it. So I think I might take it apart, see if there's a way for me to rig it up some other way. But I thought, like, what a waste to have these cameras sitting around and not be able to use them for anything. It drives me crazy. So I thought maybe I'd pull that apart and have a look at that. Maybe I could pull the sensor, use it for something. But this beauty apparently will stream. So I've just got to figure out how to do it. But then I can have a roving camera, which I think may solve, as you say, solve all of our problems. I'm just a little concerned about what the reception is going to be like. Although I say that, if I connect directly to the computer rather than using the network, that might help, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So, things to work out. And all of this, again, is in aid of Tech Bandits because I just want to be able to expand it beyond me just standing at the desk. Like, the kids have a lot of fun chatting, and I think one of the things that I've really discovered in the whole sort of Tech Bandits thing is that now we've moved online. It's a community more than anything else. Like, it's like, yes, they're learning things for sure. We're discussing all sorts of different inspirations and things. And I've just done an update on the website, by the way. So I've added a whole bunch of stuff about PC Bandits. I'll put a link up for you. Let me see if I can find the actual page and save you looking around for all that stuff. Here we go. So it's the Tech Bandits. So the techbandits.com. That's the other thing is, I'm thinking, yeah, well, we'll see. I'm not even going to say it for fear that someone will snatch it from my grasp. Okay, so here you go. This is going to be the link. I'm going to copy this to here. Huzzah. What's the term for a group of squirrels? Don't know. It's a good question. Very good. So this is the new page that I put it up way too late. Oh, Jack Jasra. And hello, Jack Jasra. Did you just get in here? Welcome again. Shutterfoot. I will always get another pet because the pain of losing them pales in comparison to the love and joy a pet gives you and the joy that comes from giving them a good... I know, but I'm old and I'm grumpy and I don't know. I just feel maybe I'm still in mourning for Mars. I don't even know. Like, it feels like a month ago we lost him, but apparently it's like, was it like almost 2 years now? I don't know. I bought a dog's breakfast. I got to see your dog. I know I kind of love that he's immortalized in that way. And that was definitely very much him. Hey, maybe we get a new dog. Maybe I should make a new movie. That could be fun. Heir of the dog. Wow, the squirrels are doing acrobatics for you now. Actually leaping onto chairs and things. Squirrel herder. I like that. Squirrel herder. So yeah. Yeah, what is a group of squirrels? Do we know what that is? A scurry of squirrels? I like that. Is it really a scurry of squirrels? A dog's brunch? Yeah. I was thinking heir of the dog. And you could do like hair of the dog, but it would be heir of the dog because it would be the second dog's movie, if that makes sense. I'm a scruffy squirrel herder. I love it, Monica Lake. I love it. I suppose I should let people know that I'm doing this, shouldn't I? Sorry, I meant to do this before, the little Twitter thing. What should I do? Should I do a screen grab and send that out? People can see just what kind of madness they're up against. Look, there's two of me. Squirrel cam. I'm going to go really big with the squirrel cam for a second. Just so we can, because I really think people are here for the squirrels. Let's face it. They're not here for me. They're here for the squirrels. All right, so squirrel cam goes there. I don't know why I can't just take a regular picture. I'm always telling my son off for doing silly faces, and then I do exactly the same thing. All right, so let me just do a little screen capture of this. See if this is going. Whoa, that's a disaster. Okay, see what have I done? Oh my gosh, what have I done? I've messed it all up now, haven't I? I don't even know what the screen looks like anymore. I've completely screwed this up. How does it look? Oh, where am I? I have the worst streamer. I've got to say, I really don't have this streaming. I just don't have this. The knack for streaming. It's just not mine. All right, what do we got? So I've moved that out of the way. Let's want to move that back up here again. Does that work? Hey, is that better? And then what about this? Should that go back up? No, what's going on there? Hey, everything's changing. Okay. What the heck? I've totally screwed this up. Baz. Yeah. So here I am, streaming my desktop, trying to figure out what I've done wrong. It's gone full screen and it's driving me crazy. Okay, so let me go back to the way it was. So I can do this. I'm gonna go back. If I go a little smaller, that's a little easier for me to handle. So I'm gonna put that. I don't want that. I want this one. Nope, not that one. Stop clicking on that one. All right, let's do this. No, my gosh, what's going on here? Okay. So, is it everything moving like that? It's so weird. Okay, how about this one? Will that work? No, it's just for some reason it wants to move that one the whole time. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the ones I can't see. There you go. If I can't see it, I can't move it, right? No, apparently you can. I've really screwed it up. Yikes. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this little double clicking that needs to be done. Okay, so that looks good. Squirrel. Oh, nope. Nope. And then squirrel cam. If I double click that. Ah, I double click it and then you've got some movement. There we go. I can move that. Now squirrel cam comes up here. And then I could do my little, how should I pose? Here we go. I'll do that. How's that? Perfect. 2 squirrels. We get some squirrels in there? Not very close. That's a better one right there. Because I like it when they're in full squirrel pose. You know what I mean? There's that classic squirrel pose. You really want that, right? You do want full squirrel. We want to go full. Oh, and there's ants in the foreground too. Do you see that? That's actually pretty good resolution on these things. I'm wondering if I should get. I wanted to get a higher resolution camera. Oh, come on, squirrels, behave. Pose for me. Shivers, ants. Not an ant fan. I think ants are one of the most amazing things. I gotta say. Okay, ready? 2 squirrels. Come on, guys. Pose for me. There you go. That's the one. There you go. I've gone squirrely. It's kind of true. It's true. How are you, Geezer? How's that fundraiser thing going? Geezer's trying to work out how to live in a van. It would be very, very cool, I've got to say. Sarah and Cavinstar, thank you very much. So Geezer Geek's got a GoFundMe thing that he's working on. Actually, it was done for him by a friend, I believe. But he's been having a rough time. So we should have a look at that. Do I have the link for it? I'll have to find a link for it. Let me just say that I'm on first. Let me just do this. Let me just go and tell everybody to come and join us. Get the riffraff in here. The non-twitchy riffraff. Did not work. Isn't that weird? It does not like doing screen grabs from that. How weird is that? How's that one? What's that one looking like? Not bad. Okay. There's not a lot of great squirrels in this one, but I think people will get the idea. Join me. Live with... what do we call it? A scurry of squirrels? A scurry of squirrels. All right. We'll do a scurry of squirrels. I like that. HTTPS. Oh, boy. I should really do this before. I apologize I'm not more organized on these things, but the reality is I'm just not. It's just not the way I am. It's not the way I roll. All right. Join me live with my scurry of squirrels. We say scurry of squirrels? Was there a better term for it? I'm going back to the chat to see. Was there better names for scurry of squirrels? Paper clips. Thank you very much. My gosh, subscriptions galore here. I'm gonna scroll back up here. What did we say? It was a squirrely eyes. Squirrely eyes are watching you. Oh, look at those little guys. They're good. They look good. What's going on there? Why don't? There's some good squirrels there. It won't let me. It won't let me actually save this for some reason. Okay. I'm looking. I'm enjoying the squirrels. Let's have a look and see if I can get a better. There we go. Little squirrels. Hello, fellas. Hello, fellas. There you go. That's a great one. I'm using that one because that's got a squirrel in proper squirrel, form. The rampant squirrel, as opposed to rabid squirrel. Okay, here we go. That's it. Join me live with my scurry of squirrels. Now, there we go. Okay, I shall post that. I wonder if I should put it on. Should I do the Facebook? Do people? I feel like Facebook's one of those things that I hate, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of you are on Facebook. Like, am I wrong to assume that? It just seems to be like a lot of people of the Stargate era, I guess, were of the Facebook era, which I never really got into. In fact, I have some issues. I have a few issues with Facebook. All right, let me add this. Let me add my little photo, and then everyone will be happy. All right, I've done that. Okay, I've got my little face up there. I'm posting, and I am posted. There you go. Okay. So, I could go back. I could get rid of some of our... Although it's kind of nice having the squirrel that big in a way. I don't think... Do we need this anymore? I don't think we need me again, do we? Isn't one enough? Oh, not that one. What did I call it then? Nope, not that one. How about this one? There you go. Okay. So, Squirrel Cam, back in form. I might even just put it over like that and get it out of the way a bit. All right. So yes, I've got PC Bandits tomorrow. So if anyone's got any PC gaming news that they think I should be talking about, please feel free to share it here. Any new exciting things that might be worth doing? Oh, there you go. Geezer Geek's got it in there. Great. Wait a sec. What do I say?
Last Zoom meeting.
Oh, last Zoom meeting. Thank you. Geezer Geek, may I post here? Yes, of course. Still needing a lot of help. It's a lot of money, Geezer Geek. That's the problem. I'm a little worried that our little community isn't going to be able to foot the whole bill. But maybe it will. I was thinking maybe there were like creative solutions to this that don't involve the cash. That maybe there's a way of. Maybe there are people who do van conversions or who have an old van conversion or just a way of trying to reduce that initial cost of getting the van and kitting it all out and that kind of stuff. So I was really kind of hoping that there might be some sort of like a nerd who knows a nerd who knows a nerd kind of thing. I know that the father, what was I going to say? The digital Jesuit, Father... God, I always get his name wrong. Father Robert something or another from Twitch TV was doing, not Twitch TV, from Twit TV. I know he's at the Vatican again now, but he was talking about doing a van conversion with his dad at some point. So I think he might be a good person to talk to about that. Do a tech GoFundMe. Really. Shared a lot of places. Tried to share it on the charity Reddit. They require 30 days and 500 karma. Right. And Dark Road deleted WhatsApp too. Ah. Interesting. WhatsApp was interesting because I only use it with a couple of people. We have they call it like the cousins chat where all of my British cousins sort of share news and a lot of genealogy stuff about where we came from and stuff. And it's all very British, I must say. And then recently they've been talking because a lot of them trained, a lot of my parents included, trained and became doctors or nurses and specialists in various different things because of Guy's Hospital, which they're now talking about renaming because, the guy of Guy's Hospital made an awful lot of money in the stock market, investing in companies that invested in, well, not invested, that made all their money doing in the slave trade. So the concern was that my family's concern was like, generations of our family have walked under that statue, and so many doctors and all this kind of stuff. And I sort of, there's a part of me that goes like, yes, but if people are feeling that all that money, I mean, he was able to give all that money because he made so much money off these companies that were enslaving people, like something like 165,000 people. So I was like, what's the problem? Like, but like move the statue, put it into a place where it can be where he could be referenced for, for the good man he was with the money that he made through terrible means. I again, in his day and age, we weren't listening to the complaints of our fellow humans, who were people of color, who were being who were being enslaved. So, why not change that stuff? I mean, if there's any, I understand that, yes, it's our history that's been, we can't rewrite our history and all this kind of stuff. I say, well, don't rewrite it, but just make sure that we're clear in what it was doing. I mean, it's all very good and well for people to donate vast amounts of money and feel great about themselves and have buildings named after them, but we do have to look at where that money came from. And, yes, they could be very good people, but if their investments are from things that have been so destructive to people, that should be, people should be allowed to voice that too. No, I mean, I would have thought so. Country 3D, I am sad, very sad today. Country 3D, why? What's up? Country, yeah, how is it doing down there, Country? You are in a hot zone now, my friend. Hype Trains, thank you. Thank you, Hype Trains, whoever's responsible for that. Pimp Night YT, just rewatching Atlantis for the 17th time. Wow. And Offsad says, Geezer Geek, one red paperclip was kind of an experiment made by a Canadian blogger, and he bartered his way from a single paperclip to a house in a series of 14 online trades. That was an amazing piece. I don't know if you could do it again now, though. Could you? Just remember to turn on the encryption, which is not a default like it is in WhatsApp, and group chats are not encrypted the same way. I mean, I would love to get off Zoom, because there's this story, which I should probably check on Snopes to make sure it's real, but apparently there was a Chinese dissident that was having a meeting on Zoom, and apparently the Chinese government got word of this. He was based in America. But apparently someone in the Chinese government got in touch with Zoom and said, hey, let's ixnay the Chinese dissident, eh? And he was bounced off Zoom. And so I was really very, very worried about that kind of response from a company, especially what is alleging to be an American company, although I hear there's big ties to China with that. I also worry about TikTok. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about TikTok right now. And again, I don't know how much of it is just the whole, trade war with America that's going on right now. Did I get a response back from Country 3D? I wanted to know what was up with Country. Geezer Geek saying, only 17 times? Bah! 17. SG1's getting close to 40. Really? My gosh. You're naming all the worst platforms. It's so true. Toasted. ICS Press says, yep, but how do you get kids off TikTok? No freaking kidding, ICS Press. Baz keeps showing me the odd thing that is slightly creative or educational, but that's not the vast majority of it. It's just like silly nonsense from what I can see. O'Neill Ford says, hey, Mr. Hewlett, just wanted to tell you that your Netflix creature picture that you deleted from Twitter. I deleted it? Mortified my family. They try to forget it happened. Their reaction was so worth it. LOL. But they'll be fine. I didn't delete it. It's still there. It should still be there. I certainly didn't delete it unless somebody else deleted it. Oh, you don't think that got taken down for a reason, do you? Oh, no, that can't be right. It's got to still be there. I did a really bad Photoshop of my head onto the beautiful splice creature, and yeah, and I brought a whole world of hurt to everybody. You can block all of your URLs at home. Use a pie hole. There's a block list you can use that blocks all of it. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, I've really wanted to play with that, but the whole idea of locking down our network just seems like such a drag. Country 3D, what's up, buddy? Cyric, David, you want to slow down on all things China? I'd recommend Serpent Za and Sea Milk, both great guys who know what they're talking about. Okay, what are they talking about? So what's up, Mr. Hewlett? Brian Vines, how are you, sir? I am so behind on everything, Brian. It's like ridiculous. I have not even been able to instead of like I have not even been able to build the 3D printer, let alone get anything else done around here. It's like it's insane. I mean, the kid's on holiday, which is wonderful. We're about to get a dog now. Have we heard from Walter yet? I'm worried we haven't heard from. Where's our Country 3D guy? I want to know what's going on. Country 3D. You changed color at Country 3D. Did you bounce off and then bounce back in again? We're trying to find out what's up, Country. How can we cheer you up? They're both guys who know a lot about China, says Cyric. Okay. All right. Very good. Really? I see. All right. You're lost? So am I, Jack and Kaz. Totally lost. What do I know I never know what's going on. I'm the last person to know anything around here. What is this? I'm gonna see what's going on here. Oh, God, yeah. What the heck was that about? That's right. Yeah. Brain aneurysm. He's one of the Mythbusters team. I was really upset to hear about that. Jane told me about that yesterday, and of course we couldn't figure out who we hadn't figured out who it was at that point. I didn't realize it was Grant. That is very sad. And no, we don't have what? Okay, so wait a sec. So Geezer Geek, David's gone. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Let me see what I've got here. All right, I've got to check the chat here because I've got lost on the chat again. I'm lost. He's lost. We're all lost. Okay. Yeah, no, it's so true, Dark Rogue. I know there's a lot going on. Yeah, the Grant story is just really. Was it COVID related? Do we know? Do we know whether the Grant's aneurysm was related to COVID at all? Because I know that it causes a lot of clotting issues. I know that. And we don't have many cases here in our county. Good, Country. Well, you stay safe, because it is, it's. I mean, Canada seems to be. We seem to be definitely, touch wood, getting through it right now. Toronto is still at stage 2, so we haven't really opened up entirely yet. There's still a lot of concerns in Toronto, though our numbers are down. We're still being pretty cautious about it. So places outside, like Ontario itself, is a very, very large province. We are in a little section down near the bottom and near the border, actually, and that we're not doing quite as well as the rest, obviously, because we've got a much larger, there's there's just a much larger population than most of the other areas. There's no cause of death. Well, I heard it was an aneurysm, Country 3D, but that's all I know. Thank you, Dark Road. A Dog's Breakfast. We really enjoyed Dog's Breakfast, I must say. It's the only movie that I really, really enjoy. Someone could just build something under your name, and I would get because someone has my data. Would build under my name, and I would get all that because someone has my data. I don't know why I'm trying not to. I swear like a sailor around my poor son, but for some reason when I'm online, I feel like I shouldn't. Brain aneurysm typically aren't caused by clots, at least not in the short term. Okay, thank you, James. There you go. See, this is how rumors get started. Could have had it for years, nothing to do with COVID, right? Of course, now, as soon as someone has any kind of an ailment, I go, oh my God. It's got to be something to do with COVID. Okay, so population of 23,000, 90 cases of COVID. Really? So we are doing well then. What are we at? I mean, because we've got a much larger population, and I don't think we're. All right, let's see. Toronto. I always shudder to look this up. Toronto COVID. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Numbers. So we have we've got, what is it? Toronto has 14,678 confirmed cases. And we've had over 1,000 deaths. Over 1,000 deaths. It's crazy. Ontario as a whole has had 2,700 deaths and has 39, almost 40,000 confirmed. And it looks like we've gone up by 116. Yeah, a lot of it is old people's homes or the retirement shelters or whatever they call it, retirement homes. But I don't know what our population is. That'd be interesting to see what the population is compared to that. So we got 14,000. We've only had 1,100 deaths. That's compared to. Yeah, we just got to be careful because the reality is, it's like the World Health Organization says, we just got to be like the best way to stop this thing is to just stay away from other people. Like it's just, All right, 3 messages deleted by. Who's dropping links? Dun 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 dun. All right, I'm in Texas. Our numbers are skyrocketing. It's scary. I feel for you, Texas. One of the biggest issues that I think every country has had is mixed messages on this stuff, right? And there's got to be sort of a civil agreement. Society has to agree to what they're going to do to stop this stuff. So I'm afraid I'm totally paranoid, overly so. I meet with my family. I wear a mask. I distance. I do both. We meet outside only. We had a cousin around the other day. It poured with rain. I let him in with a mask for a little while with all the windows open, and then I kicked it back out again in the rain. We all went outside in the rain because I was just like, it's just not worth it. We're seeing about all these different possible long-term things, and more than anything, I just don't want to be the guy who killed somebody. I don't want to be the guy who's responsible for making, for taking out my own father or someone else's old relative or whatever. So it's entirely selfish. That's basically it. Saladin says, not allowed to put the link, but look at the COVID info. David, about Tech Bandits, did you see the link I sent you above that might help them with the microbes? Okay, hang on. Why am I being signed out of that? Okay. What's going on over here? All these flipping windows. Dark Rogue, Mr. Clean, I did not see it. So if you wouldn't mind, can you repost it? Because if I start scrolling up, I'll never get back on track again. It's killing me not to see my parents, but I know I can't fly and risk it. No, I know that's it. I was very surprised when my brother-in-law flew to Toronto because I was just like, I didn't realize anyone was flying. Thank you. I'd almost rather they didn't. But at the same time, everyone's got their own perspective on this stuff. I'm not going to stop anyone from doing anything. And as long as social distancing is happening, that's all I'm working on the stuff I can control. That's it. And the stuff I can control is basically I go out as little as I have to, which basically I do anyways. We now have a dog, so that will get us out, and we will be, we'll be walking that. But that's nice for social distancing too. And hopefully the dog will attack people if they get too close. So that's my hope on that. And also just be good to get out with a kid. I miss him. Like I'm down here by myself now, and he's up in his room. He's done his Overwatch, like I knew would happen. We've moved him up there, and of course he's not coming back down again. So I sort of miss our little team ups on the gaming and stuff. So I think it'll be the Stargate streams, and he's going to start doing some solo streams. I think of gaming himself, but yeah, Country 3D. Code is not going to write itself. It's not just yet, Country 3D. It will eventually. That AI will be doing that job for you soon, I'm sure. maybe for your kids. Country, I'm sorry you're feeling low. What can I say? I mean, it's so funny that it's so funny that, you know, the end of life is inevitable for everybody. We know that, but it's the hardest freaking thing to deal with when it happens. And, yeah, I'm sorry, but stay positive, buddy. We love you. We're here for you. We got 3D printing to do. You got a great family to play with too. So there you go. Lots of love, country. Look after yourself. Be safe. Be safe. Continue to be great, because you are. People here in the U.S. complain about having to use a mask. They say it's against their constitutional rights. They should be happy. They just have to wear a mask. At least they don't have a tube in their neck, a chunk of plastic in their tube. Well, that's interesting, O'Neill. So do you have a breathing tube then? Is that O'Neill Ford? Are you using a breathing tube? Yeah. It's funny because when I was a kid, I was hospitalized with breathing issues because the complications due to pneumonia. I got pneumonia and because of asthma, I was not breathing. So I remember the ride in the hospital, in the ambulance, and the week in hospital with sick kids, where they literally saved my life. I mean, I wasn't traumatized by it, but I'll never forget it. It was a week in my life, and I remember so much of it so well. And I guess because of this COVID stuff, it's sort of come back to the forefront for me, you know, as things do, I guess. Things in your life as you have more time. One of the things about COVID is you have more time to yourself. You have more time at home. You have more time to think about things you wouldn't maybe necessarily be thinking about. And so that's sort of come up a lot for me, is having that mask on. Again, I wasn't intubated, but they used to put me on this crazy old, I'm so old. It's this crazy old oxygen mask that would sort of hiss and whine, and little bubbles of I guess water would form in the little thing, and I had to sit there for ages. And of course there were no cell phones, and so I remember just sitting, literally just sitting, staring at where the tube went into the wall for just however long I had to do it. And then someone stole my G.I. Joe doll. They didn't even steal my G.I. Joe doll. They stole my freaking eagle that came. It was G.I. Joe gold. Was it golden eagle or bald eagle? Whatever it is. It was a G.I. Joe set. I should find it. I should find that G.I. Joe set, because some little jerk in that hospital stole my eagle, my Flexi Eagle, from the G.I. Joe. There you go. It wasn't a nebulizer. I did use the nebulizer. This was oxygen. They had me on oxygen, so I had to wear this mask to help me breathe. So your smile never gets old. It does. It gets all creaky in the corner. Sarah Smith, I'm disabled and in Arizona, one of the worst places for COVID in the world. I'm so proud. It is kind of shocking that America is such a large portion of the cases right now. But I gotta say, I also feel like it's a virus. It doesn't obey borders or race or religion or any of these things. It just all it wants to do is spread. I just don't understand how it's being politicized in any way. It just wants to spread. That's the only thing the virus wants to do. So, you know, O'Neill Ford, I feel you, Mr. Hewlett. I was in the hospital for months. I was very lucky. I'm not saying it was a particularly bad situation, but it was related to breathing, and breathing is a horrible thing to not work properly. Pac-Man spent 3 days in hospital with my asthma a few years ago. Struggling to breathe is not fun. It really isn't. The nebulizer. You're sucking on your hookah nebulizer. There's also bad messaging. Bill de Blasio, New York, can't come out allowing protests that have destroyed property and harass people, but stop people from making money with businesses. If COVID-19 is an issue, you can't have two sets of rules based on political affiliation or ideology. No, that's the whole point. There needs to be consensus on this stuff. It needs to be, and also it's not about what you want. Again, it's just so basic to me. This is James's thing. It's a virus. There's no social structures or politics or anything. None of that matters. It just wants to infect you. Anyway. America's culture values independence, and people have forgotten that we have a responsibility to each other as well. I truly hope our culture changes for the better. It's very disappointing. Shutterfoot. Yeah, I mean, it's not just America. I think, Canada has some of that as well. I mean, we see people, you see floods of people going to the beaches before they're supposed to, and everyone seems to think that the rules don't apply to them. I mean, the number of people I see not wearing masks, even on the subway, it's really frustrating. And there's laws about that. I mean, they will be fined if they don't wear them. But it's like, yeah. I mean, Disneyland, my son, Baz Bratlet, goes on about that all the time because he just cannot believe the people are going to Disneyland. But at the same time, my wife would say, being the voice of reason, lovely Jane, she would say, you also have to balance this stuff. Like, you could be run over by a car. You obviously take all the precautions you can, but you don't stop going out, not to belittle the power of the virus. But I guess my point is, like, why would you go out more than you need to right now? So that's my thing. That said, we're going to get a dog this afternoon. So at 3 something, I'll be wandering out to go and pick up a dog. Hasn't science only been a thing for 300, 400 years? Maybe it's expecting too much from people to be logical. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it frustrates me to see. Well, I won't even start. I'm not going to go down that road. I was going to start on the religion route, and then that's a whole other thing. I don't want to go there right now. Nightbot. Wait, dog, missed something. Yeah, Ruby K. I missed something too. I missed out on the ability to say no. I said no, and we still have a dog. We're about to get a dog. We're going to have it this afternoon. We're going to pick it up. So it is a rescue. It is a complete mutt. It is a Mars mutt for sure. She sounds absolutely ridiculously lovely, and a complete mess. She was picked up. She was picked up on a reservation in Manitoba, apparently. And apparently there's a lot of stray dogs that roam around, and so she was picked up there and was terribly under malnutrition, not fed, hungry, hungry, and worms and all sorts of horrible things and like mites and all sorts of stuff. So she's being cleaned up. She's probably gonna be a little rough for the first little while. But she sounds kind of perfect for us because she will need a number of walks, which is what we wanted to do, is to get, it's what Jane wanted to do. The royal we, that being Jane. So that's, you'll meet her. Huzzah! You'll meet Huzzah! Tomorrow. Yeah, thank you, Cal. What's the FF? Malnourished. Thank you. Malnourished. Cal, are you swearing at me? Mars Mutt, Lilu Huzzah Hewlett. I call the dogs whatever comes out of my mouth at the time, basically, usually. Some people just need pets in their lives. I don't. I really don't. In all honesty, I did not want another dog. I can't. It was so awful losing Mars. And I feel like I had to make that decision. Like, I had to decide to put, my favorite little being, one of my favorite little beings, down. And I agonized over that. It was awful. Awful. I'm really glad we did. But the problem with putting an animal down is it's always too early until it's too late, if that makes sense. There's always the possibility that they might have another good day or another good couple hours or whatever. And I just felt like it was my responsibility to make that decision. And we were very upset by that. And so I got to be honest, I'm still struggling with that. So I hate the idea of just getting another dog. But apparently it's been 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Has it really been 2 years? I can't believe it's been 2 years. But yeah, so I just feel like it's like that joke about you're just basically inviting death into your house. You're inviting death and loss into your house when you get an animal. So we're getting another dog, and I guess it's probably good for me. It will force me to be less restrictive in my It forces me to react as opposed to try to plan everything, which is probably good for me. It's death, loss, and poop. Exactly. This is what I said. I said after the dog, I was like, oh, 14 years of walking around picking up after being poo boy to my dog Mars. I was like, this is a welcome change. At least that's part of the I was really focusing on the positive angle of not having Mars bar around anymore. And I was really I struggled to find that. I found it. I'm now quite happy not to have one. And now we've got another one. So it's Baz and Jane's problem. That's what I say. I'm not even going to talk to it. Right, there you go. My dog is my best friend. I cannot imagine my life without him. Little guy turns 11 next month. 11 years old. Wow. So Mars got to 14. Mars got to 14 despite every vet that we spoke to saying that he had 2 years. So he had 2 years for 14 years, and that worked out really well. So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is like at some point that they're not around. But I guess, you just have to, I guess I will now have to focus on the positive of having a dog, which is, look, it's lovely to have a dog around, but it's a complete and utter, I mean, it is probably more of a mutt than even Mars was. And the weird thing is, because of COVID, you can't actually go and meet the dog before you adopt it. We took this dog because there was a certain urgency to getting her out of the kennel. She is actually in the kennel, whereas most of them are in foster homes. And so we just felt that if we were big part of getting the dogs for us is not just like getting the dog that we want. In fact, it's not that at all. In fact, I'm vehemently opposed to that approach. I think it's about what dog is in need right now, and it seems that, huzzah, is in need right now. So we'll see. So it's a total mutt. There is a certain amount of training has been done, but I shall train her within an inch of her life. I've said we have to agree on words. I don't want different people using different terms for how to get her to do things, and I'm really big on trained dogs, but I also know that, it comes to, you meet the dog and then you get to know how the dog is going to work. Hello, Claps8. It's a full-time job here too, but I'll stick to my corals and fish for now. I'd love an aquarium. I've always wanted an aquarium, but I guess now we've got a dog. They can't really say no to my aquarium, can they? Sharks with lasers. Did Mars do tricks? Yes. He was very, very good at falling asleep. No, we taught him one thing. We used to go bang, bang, and he would lie down, but he was so creaky from the day he was born. It took him so long to get down that the joke kind of died pretty quick. If you want to see some of his tricks, you can see A Dog's Breakfast. He basically had the most gorgeous little face with eyebrows that just looked very human in his response. So yeah, he was pretty great. Chrissy has an aquarium. Oh, see, I would like to have squirrel cam, aquarium cam, dog cam, tiny cam, super microscopic, super microscope world. It'd just be really fun. Does the dog mean the end of squirrel cam? That's what I'm saying, Cal. This could kill squirrel cam. This could be the death of squirrel cam. Cal, you're with me in my negativity. Thank you. Cal's always going to be there for you for looking at the dark side. So Squirrel Cam is interesting. So what I might have to do then is reposition Squirrel Cam so Squirrel Cam is looking up, and maybe it will become Bird and Squirrel Cam because it'll look up at the tree and the bird feeder, which I'm not sure I'm going to have anymore because I'm a little. Well, actually, you know what will help? If we've got a dog, we will also. It will give the rats a run for the money too, won't it? That's a good truth. Instead, put a GoPro in a new pupper and have a doggy cam. Well, that's it. We could do that. But I don't want to see what the dog sees. I want to see the dog. That's like, why would you ever want to see what the dog sees? It's just running around like, attacking small children and licking people's crotches and things. I want to see the dog. That's what I want. So what if you could? No. What are you going to do? Put like a stick on the dog and have it chase it around? That would be kind of cool, though, actually. I'm sure there are cams that do that. There's a cam that goes in the fish tank. Oh, see, that's cool. Bird cam is the word. Yeah, bird cam. Cam is the word. There's a cam that goes in the fish tank. Yes, birds. I leave for a minute and come back to David saying licking crotches. You're welcome, Shutterfoot. This is the kind of great enjoyment that you'll get to have out of these chats. All right, what else have I got for you? Ooh, you know what I should do? Do you want to do an opening? Do you want to do a little opening thing? Because I've got this amazing. I was sent this Alien 3D. This Alien 3D little gift package, so UFO Alien 3D. I just thought it might be kind of fun to open that up and see what we've gotten here. So it's Alien 3D, Alien Slacker, Alien3D.us. Seems like a great guy. I've sort of talked. Have I talked to him on our chats? Brian, was he a part of some of our? If he was actually a part of any of our streams, I think he was. Yeah, certainly a 1440 Maker guy, and so he was very kind. Sent me this little package, and valued it low enough that we didn't have to worry about all that horrid duties and taxes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna. Should I open it up? It's it's basically I think it should be suitable for all involved. What if? Oh, wait a second. Of course, I should probably hide my. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it came through the company. That's great. Okay, so it doesn't even matter about the address then. So yeah, let's have a look here. See if I think I might be able to. If I do this, I might be able to. Oh, this would be good. Let's have a look. Let's have a little looky-see here, shall we? I may be able to even give you a camera for this. How cool would that be? I think it would be very cool. Okay, so what's coming through? Is it coming through? What would it be coming through? AverMedia, maybe? How's that? Look at that! I've got what's it called? An unboxing. Like an unboxing camera. Woohoo! All right, here we go. And like I say, don't worry about the address. Everyone's going to freak out that they see the address. This is the corporate address, but it goes care of me, so you don't have to worry about seeing that. No one's gonna show up at my house. But let me just very carefully with a file. Actually, no, you gotta have a box cutter. They're the best. Okay, so very carefully. Let's just. Ooh. First off, let's just give you all a little. Ooh, UFO, darkness, Alien 3D, and thank you so much for this, by the way. Don't get distracted by squirrels now. We should really. Maybe I should go bigger on this camera. Should we do that? Come in here. Go a little bigger. If I go as big as that, then we'll be nice and big. Check this out. All right, here we go. No card, by the way. What if I put that underneath? Okay, wait. So if I put the squirrel cam on top of this, that will look better. Will it? I think it will. There you go. So, and I can just move this down a little bit. Oh, not that. Oh man, I can never get this right. There we go. We just put that down like that. There you go. So you can sort of see what's going on here. So let's open this baby up. So we go. Can you see? Here we go. Opening and opening and opening. I do love packages. I've got to say, I can't help it. I know I feel very guilty when people send me things. I've got to say, because I'm sure there are people much more deserving of these things. But boy, oh boy, like, come on. All right. Ooh. Oh, look at these beauties. Coffee brown. Are you getting a sense of that? Are you getting any of that color? I think I should take it out of the bag because it's getting too much of a reflection. So this is a coffee brown. Look at this. Oh, thank you again, Alien 3D. Look at that. Do you get a sense of it now? Better? Look at that is the color. Chocolate coffee, bro. Not chocolate, coffee brown. Oh, all right. We'll have to make something out of that. So we've got, and by the way, this is a filament, just in case it's better on this. So this is a filament, 3D Printing Canada filament. Wait a sec, 3D Printing Canada? You got it from Canada? And then shipped it through the States? Really? No. Really? I gotta talk to 3D Printing Canada. Okay, there you go. That is it. Look at that. That is a fine looking coffee filament. Ooh, I think I need more light on this one. I think I may need to, get a light on this. Anyway, so there you go. Fantastic. Okay, so 3D Printing Canada filament. I'll check that out. That works out for me. I know where to get more. Canada. I like that they're in Canada because then you don't have to worry about all this, cross-border shipping stuff. Okay, what else we got? Ooh. Premium PLA. Snow White. It doesn't actually say Snow White, but it's just called Premium. Look at that. Whoa. I'll pull it out of the package so you can see it again. Okay, so here we go. We've got this. So this is the filament, obviously, just for those of you who aren't big 3D printers. This is the filament that gets fed into the machine that is melted down and becomes each layer of your 3D print. So there you go. Look at that. Oh. Hopefully my oily skin won't disintegrate this in any way. I'm sure it'll be used before I... Here we go. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. Nice white. Snow White. Noxalon. Thank you very much. Thank you for your subscription. Oh boy, it's unraveling. I'm unraveling it. Yoinks. Zoinks. Huzzah. All right, what do we got? There we go. Let's just do this in here. Just feed that back in there. Okay, get that back in the bag. I mean, I've just seen these before where people have tried to show it through the bag, and you just don't get a sense of the color and the quality of this stuff. Like that is a really nice looking. Okay, so that's Sandoz 3D filaments. Okay, great. What's next? Are you seeing? Have you got enough room to see what's going on here? Oh yeah, I guess you can. There you go. Okay, there you go. I'm not used to this whole unboxing camera. Oh, look at this. Baz is gonna love this. Ooh. Cosmic Sparkle. Come on. Ah. That is great. Cosmic Sparkle. All right, check this out. I'm going to try not to pull it all the way out of the bag because it seems harder to get it back in. Okay, so there you go. See if you can get that. Do you get any sense of sparkle from that? I don't know. Try this. Wait a sec. Is it possible that webcams are better at this than the HDMI? It seems so weird. Oh, that is, I got to say, that is RuPaul marvelous. I got to say, we got to figure out something for that. So that is the Zytec. Let's have a look. Make sure everyone gets their credits. I want to credit where credit's due. There's Zytec. Fantastic. Cosmic Sparkle. I love it. Oh, check this out. Oh. E-Silk. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. This and the sparkle, fabulous. Darling, you're going to be fabulous. Look at that. Whoa, gorgeous. That is some seriously gorgeous filament. Check it out. E-Sun. And that is called, is it just purple? Just purple. E-Silk PLA purple. It really is. It's hard to, you can get a sense. There's a real, you sort of see that sort of the way that sort of whiteness that shows up in the corners on the edges there where the light hits it. It's this kind of almost a pearled. Oh, look at that. That is fantastic. I'm just thinking like, look, put this and this together. Like, I don't know for what, but look at those two together. Oh, like that's going to be gorgeous. A little sparkle purple. I'm telling you. This is, yeah. All right, I got to figure out what to do with that. Something really good. Maybe a mask of some sort. Would be kind of cool. What else we got here? Oh my God, there's lots of little things in here. Ooh. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so there's all my filament. Thank you very, very much. What else we got here? Oh, well, let's go for the most important things. These are Dad's root beer. Oh my God. They're root beer barrels. Oh, I used to have these when I was a wee lad. Oh, I got two of them. Woohoo! One for me, one for Baz. We got the root beer barrels. How great is that? What is it with 3D printing, the 3D printing community, and absolutely terrible for you candies? I love it. Okay, we got that. Now what's this? Oh, that's nice. A little LED board of like ultra bright looking suckers there. I wonder if I could can I power that up right now? I wonder. Let's see if I don't want to break it, but I'm sure I won't. He says, hopefully. I think I should have a mini cable. I've been recabling, right? So there's all sorts of cables lying around here. I need a mini. Is it mini? Is it USB? Is it mini? Is that the one? No, that's not the right one. It's like a little mini one. Do I have one lying around here? What's this one? Where does this one go? I bet you this is it. I bet you this is not it. I bet you that's not what I was looking for. Okay, I'll have to try it later because I don't seem to have a cable for it. Do I? I must have. Come on. Got a micro cable somewhere. One of these. This is a micro? Micro. No. They're all the big ones. Damn it. Dang it. Dang. Okay. Well, let me get one from over here. There's got to be something. If I've got enough cable to get there. I need more. So this is the thing. I need the extension cables. It's driving me crazy. I need more room. What did I say? USB micro. That's going to be down here. Mini. Mini? No, not mini, micro. Micro. Look at you. Okay, so is that going to work? I mean, I hope I don't burn it out or anything. So what do we got here? We got a little... Does the board just... Is it... I'm assuming it's programmable in some way. So there you go. Sorry. That's the board. Let me get it out of here. Have a look here. I should really have done this with a tech bandage, shouldn't I? Shoot. So is that... And look at you up here. I keep going the wrong way. Very difficult to see. Too bright. Too bright. Yeah, a bit too bright. But let me, if I turn this down, I said, can I turn that down? Let me turn the sun down. There you go. Try that. Okay. Look at that. There you go. That's easy to see. Look at that. Okay. So, let me just plug this in. I've got power here because I've been very good about my cabling recently. Is that going to work? Woo! Check it out! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I just thought this would be perfect for... What? Look! I can light the Stargate with it. So I've got... Because I've always been worried... It always goes silhouette, right? So right now you see it's silhouette. You see just... So the outline of the Stargate. But if I put it up here, I get it a little closer. I mean, obviously I can't reach it right now. But you'll actually see a little bit more of it. That's perfect! Woo! Okay. That is... Oh my gosh! These things are amazing. Okay, that's now what I got here. Oh, what's that? Mini screwdriver. I freaking love these things. Does it unscrew? Does it unpop? What does it do? Have I broken it already? What does it do? Does it rotate? What is it? How does it work? Oh my gosh, I feel it's shocking to me that I need instructions for this. Oh, it does unscrew, does it? Oh, is it? Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Mini screwdriver. Look at that. So that just goes in there. Pops in there. I pop it out. Oh, what do I need? I need one of these. I need a nice little square head. Perfect. This is genius. Love it. And perfect for tech bandits, again, because the kids are always needing new things. They're always, first off, losing screwdrivers. And secondly, they love playing with the new ones. It's a bit like if only it was a sonic screwdriver. Awesome. Okay, so we've got cool little boards, cool little LED boards, which are going to light my Stargate with, which is perfect. I was literally looking for something. I was thinking about I have to rig up some lights and figure that out, and now I don't. So there you go, little screwdriver. There's more. Oh, that's too funny. So there's actually there's a cable for. Oh, that's the wrong cable. Oh, that's the mini, not the micro. Ooh, is there more in here? What's this? Oh, that little relay? Can't really tell. Can I just open it? I guess I can. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, it is an unopening, right? Or just an unboxing? Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy. I didn't realize it was all this little electronic stuff as well. This is like, oh my God, this would be like a dream. As a kid, not that I'm not still a child, obviously. This would be, oh, nice. Oh, it's a little motor controller. Is it a motor controller or is it a relay of some sort? I think it's a relay. I think that is going to allow you to use like an Arduino to control an on-off switch. Does this come as a kit? Wait a second, is it all a kit that I'm going to build? Happy Father's Day! The UFO invasion is here. This month, I've included stickers for a couple of maker dads. Mad Monkey. Let's see, we got Mad Monkey in here? Where's Mad Monkey? Is that Mad Monkey? I don't see Mad Monkey. Is that Mad Monkey? Oh, it must be. There you go. Mad Monkey. Mad Monkey. Mad Monkey sticker. So that is Mad Monkey Jordan. And then Edge of Tech, which I'll tell you, I know that I have looked up a ton of stuff on Edge of Tech. So cool stickers. For the project I came up with. Oh, so they are projects. I don't know why I didn't know this. for the project I came up with, a project that I think could be pretty cool for the Dad Makerspace, a motion-activated light. I use versions of these I bought in random areas of my house to add more light to an area that I'm working in. So I hope that you find them useful as well. The accessory is an Allen key hex driver. Woohoo! So that's what this little baby is right here. Well, the 4 attachments for the handle, pull the cap off. Look, there are instructions. Like, you think I could have read the instructions first. They were at the bottom, you see. That was the problem. Maybe I opened it upside down. Last year's anniversary project, next month's project, is going to require a lot of soldering, so get some practice in. Okay, good to know. I truly appreciate everyone's support these last few months. They've been more trying than previous months, not just for me, but also for a lot of you. One thing I've always loved about this community is that we are all here for each other. I'm definitely here for all of you. Thank you, Josh, Alien 3D. Oh my gosh. All right, look at this. Remember, sign up. Get yourself in on this fun. This guy is great. He had a very, I thought, a very important response to Black Lives Matter, and basically put his business on hold to make his point. I gotta say, you gotta respect a guy who's putting his livelihood, on the line to make a point and to support, people of color who are just being horribly, just horribly treated, and this sort of systemic issue that we have with our treatment of people of color. So I really appreciate him doing this. That is so cool. Okay, great. So there's that. Now let me just get into here. Let's see what else we got. Is this like a little Arduino? It's like an Arduino Mini. Oh, look at that. A thing to cut open bags. Perfect. Here we go. All right. Look at that. Oh. Nano. It's a little nano. Oh, these are so cool. So these are the little mini version of the Arduinos, which we can wire up. Wow. In fact, I may not even use the motion sensor for this one. I may just have it go on for my streams, which would be amazing. So what do we got here? This is the sensor, though, which I do want to play with because I think that would also be really fun. Look at this. Oh my god, this is so cool. There you go. Ooh, I always like those little domey looking sensors. Here you go. Gonna focus on that? There you go, a little domey sensor. Look at that. So this is a little motion sensor. What an amazing setup. What an amazing idea this Josh fella's onto here. So that is fantastic. He's even included cables for it, for wiring it up. He's got the plug for it. What else could a nerd want? This has got everything. Okay, this is awesome. So a definite 2 thumbs up. Let's in the right camp. 2 thumbs up from me. I would, if I had more, I'd be putting them up too. This is amazing, and one of my only unboxings that I've ever done. This is so cool. Okay, so I'm putting this all back in here, making sure nothing gets lost. Don't want to lose anything, especially those barrels of root beer, which I might just leave out. I might just leave those out because I think those might get more attention faster. All right. So just again to remind everybody what we're dealing with, we are dealing with here with a UFO Alien 3D. They are, here's all the info. Can you see that? There you go. Alien 3D US, Alien Slacker on Twitter, Alien 3D on YouTube, Alien 3D US on Facebook. It just looks like a lot of fun. So maybe get yourself in on this because that is extraordinary. And thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brian, as well, because I know Brian was integral in getting this sorted out for me as well. So yeah, that's so cool. Okay, great. Another project for me to work on. Oh my gosh. That, to be honest, that doesn't look like it has to take too long, I don't think. I think it's simple enough even for me. All right, let me get rid of this one so that we can stop looking at my dirty desktop. There you go. No, I don't want to see that anymore. Oh, there you go. Okay. So, wow. I did not expect to do an unboxing, but that is really great. My God, Brian Vines, this is amazing. And Brian, what does it cost to be a part of this? Because these are fantastic. These are just really smart, well thought out, fun projects. And please, I will I will obviously do a big shout out to Josh about this. It is Josh, right? I got that right. Is it Josh? It is Josh, right? The chat's in slow-mo. Oh no, sorry everybody. We're in slow-mo. He's not David, he's McKay. What are you talking about, Jack and Kaz? Of course I'm McKay. I mean David. 36 a month. Well, so that's a deal. You're getting filament, you're getting filament, you're getting parts, you're getting the excitement of not knowing what it is. You get to do unboxings, basically. You know? You probably earn 36 bucks just doing the unboxings. Wait a second, have I just ruined it for people? I haven't, have I? I think I'm probably behind the curve on this, so I'm sure that other people have already done this. And have they done it live is the next question. Yes, do check it out. Digital Viper, thank you. You'll never see them at the same time. Wait, what? Yes, McKay and David. I mean, I always talk about this. The reality is that much of David, you know, came into McKay. It became a part of McKay, and much of McKay, not the right parts of McKay came to me. You know, just made me far less reasonable for to talking with people in most cases. So, I love the way you talk to the cup. I love that you talk with a cup up to your mouth. Yes, it's brilliant, isn't it? But the reality is, it's also required because it is coffee, which I'm actually out of almost now. What about Patrick? Yeah, there's a bit of Patrick in there too. It's a good point. All right. I love the way you talk with the cup to your mouth. What have we got? Have we got anything else? Have I missed anything else? Oh, I need to check this out. Yes, you do, Soda Crafter. Definitely check it out. Should I put it in the? Can I put it in the chat? Why don't I do that? Let me make sure I've got the right website address. Alien3D.us. Okay, so it's alien. So alien3D.us. Is that right? I got that right? Will this all look like it makes sense? Oh wow. Oh, look at that. Woohoo. Oh, and look at that. 10% of all sales in the month of July will be donated to Black Lives Matter. That's fantastic. Now, I don't know whether that's actually to Black Lives Matter or whether it's to groups that fight for black rights. But that is fantastic. Yeah, Josh is so all over this. So let me cut and paste this in here because I think we've more than deserves to show up here and get some love. Get some love. Here we go. Paste. And there you are. Okay. Am I allowed to put links? Do I get told off for putting links in? I'd be curious to know if that works. There you go. So that's Josh's website where you can get all sorts of goodies. I've got a $5 discount on the first month of my code. Woohoo! Look at that. Brian's already got it sorted out for you. Where are the squirrels? I came for the squirrels. Well, are there none left? Well, like I said, wait a sec. Kit Skyfire, I'm just telling you, enjoy those squirrels while you can. Not that they're here right now, but when they're here, because soon a dog will be filling up that wonderful gate frame. Yeah, so they'll be back, I'm sure. It's getting a bit warm, I gotta say. So my hunch is that they're probably, what they tend to do is lie flat on the top of the fence in shady areas. They literally look like roadkill. And then I wondered about maybe I should change. What if I changed? Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up so you can see it. If I pull up this, so if I use this camera, like this camera could be on my squirrel cam. Would that be a better approach, do we think? I wonder if I can get close enough without ripping all the cables out of my desk. But is that going to be a better? I mean, I feel like the picture might be better. That's our little Stargate cam, by the way. That's a little setup right now, and it has a little dungeon. It has a little jungle that I've created. I got to turn this off because I'm going to make everybody sick, myself included. Here we go. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to, I might try setting that camera up, this camera up as the squirrel cam, because it could be good. Name the dog Squirrel. Ooh, that's good. I like that. I thought it might have been a Stargate. I think it might have been a Stargate. It is a Stargate. Yes, it is. Absolutely. In fact, that was the whole thing I loved about this little plug-in unit that I got from Alien over here is that it would light it so beautifully. Let's see if I can find it and light it. What have I done with it? What have I done with this beast? I can't possibly have lost it already. No, I haven't. Of course I haven't. That would be ridiculous. Did I leave it over here? All right. There was a nice little LED, not LCD. Oh my God, that's how old I am. LED, LCDs. How is it possible? There it is. Okay, it's so thin and beautifully small that I didn't even see it. Okay, so watch this. So if I take this, I take my little board. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Nathulus. All right, I take my little board. Voila. I take my little cable. Hello, Mr. Cable. What's cable in French? Anyone know? Don't the plants look good? You see? Oh, Nathalis, thank you very much. Looking after Toasted Fart like that. It just sounds so weird. Okay, so this from my Alien 3D. I plug it into just a regular old USB power out. Well, a little just USB cable basically. Plug that in. I get a nice glow that I don't look at. Look at that beast. Okay, so I could put it, if I just put it over here, we'll get I can't get in there. Gosh darn it, too many cables. This is awful. Okay, but you see the idea. If I get that in there, it is going to light up that Stargate in a way that you're not going to see otherwise, like that. But I can't leave it there. What if I put it there? Would that work? Oh, it's a little bit better. So I could just like tape it there for the time being. Hang on a second. Let me just get a little piece of tape or something. What would work? What would work? I took that and put that like right there. That's nice. Okay, so let me just put a cable around that. I'll put a little cable. My favorite thing in the world, one of my favorite things in the entire world is our cable ties. I love them. And I love them so much that I don't like to throw them away. So this one is, I thought, well, I might be able to use it for something. And sure enough, here I go. I take out this little piece. I put that in there. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, I can. I can do that. Do that. Go to here. Okay, plug that back in. I'm just going to attach it to the thing over here. There's a hanging cable here that I think will work perfectly. Will serve perfectly as my way of holding it together. Okay, so if I do this and then just pull it through. Hang on, you can't see any of this. It's very exciting. Trust me, very exciting. Okay, and then I just do this like that. And if that works, I might have... This is really, as always, Jane says one of her least favorite things is for the time being. And that is the story of my life. For the time being. Will that, for the time being, supply enough light? Let's have a look here. Here we go. Will that light it up a bit? It does a bit. Got a bit of the wrong angle on it somehow. Not perfect by any means, in that it's not actually pointing at the... Oh, come on. It has to be... Why do you have to be so difficult? All right, let's do this. I do that. Okay, and then if I pull that over there like that? Nope, still doesn't help. What if I pull that like that? Nope, if I pull it over there like this? Does that help? Okay, how's that? And that? All right. Well, that's the end of that's the end of Squirrel Cam. Squirrel Cam had a terrible accident. All right. Well, we'll return to Squirrel Cam another time. Plus, I scared every squirrel out of its mind. I guess I could try putting this one up for the time being. Again, for the time being. That has a lot of weight on it, is the only issue. So I don't know about putting it up too high. So what I thought was if I could get this one up instead. All right. I have got the worst cable management skills. It is kind of ridiculous. So if I go to here and then put this up like Squirrel Cam, where are you, Squirrel Cam? That is not going to sit very well. No, it's not going to behave. I think this may be a futile effort. This may be a futile effort for the time being. Let's see. I'm not sure it's going to work with me here. Nope. Like I said, okay, never mind. Yeah, I was gonna duct tape it. I can probably get it back up and running. It's not that hard to. It's not that hard to put up. I made it really as easy as I possibly could. I just keep dropping the damn thing is the problem. So let's have a look here. I just feel a little bad for the camera that I, keep dropping. There we go. Let's try that. All right. So Squirrel Cam's back. Let's have a look. There you go. Squirrel Cam's back. Lighting is completely off now because I've just torn everything out of the wall, which is just perfect. Exactly what I had planned on doing naturally. I wonder if I'm going to need a cooler for this thing because it's running pretty warm. Pretty warm indeed. All right. So what's happening here? What's happening here? I got a light that doesn't want to shine here. Let me see if I can coerce it in any other way. If I rotate that up, how about that? If I make it a little better. Nah, not enough. I've got this rat's nest of cables and things that I have to traverse right now. Let me see if I can give you an example here. So check this out. Like that, I'm in the midst of all the recabling. I'm trying to get that trash can, and it really is a trash can. I am never buying another expensive Mac ever. Hey, Squirrel! So that rat's nest needs to be organized. And what I've been doing is, because I'm constantly switching out cameras and trying to figure out what the best setup is. Although I gotta say, having done that little unboxing, that's fantastic. So another star system bites the dust. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not that bad. All right, what's my uptime like? I should probably think about getting out of here because, as I say, we have a dog to pick up. Yikes. Enjoy your squirrels while you can. That's all I'm saying. 1 hour and 37 minutes. Oh, wow. So I have been rattling on for a bit. After the end of civilization, the only two things that will survive are cockroaches and duct tape. Yeah, it's true. Although probably cable ties, too. Really like cable ties. New dog, Ruby K. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Yeah, you'll see. It's a total mutt. A total mutt. And it's a mutt full of worms, I think, probably at this point. Are you really Canadian? Oh, am I? I am totally Canadian. Well, I was born in England, raised in Canada, emigrated to the States, came back to Canada. Seemed like at a good time, to be honest. I seem like I'm in Canada at a very good time right now. It's a good place to have a family. Yes, I'm going to need a lot of luck with Pupper. That's very true. Pupper. Huzzah! As I'm calling it. Mutts, they're the best. What do you mean the best? They're the only in my books. Canardian. I could call it Canardian. That's good. But yes, I call myself Canardian. That's very true. I haven't heard him say A once yet. How many times have I said and ah, though? I've been trying. Somebody called me on it last time. Yes! James, where are you at with the Stargate RPG? I actually asked about that. You're ready whenever you are? Whenever I am? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll email because I think I'm going to have to. I think I am doing a Stargate RPG game at San Diego Comic-Con this year with Wyvern, which I'm kind of excited about because I thought what a great way to learn it just by playing it. But I would love to play it first so that I have at least a sense of what I'm doing because it really has been a long time. So James, I will definitely bug you about that. I know, gold top cookies. I got a trash can. I don't know what I was thinking. It's so beautifully made. And it sucks. It's so inefficient. It doesn't, it is a horrible desktop to use. It really has put me off Apple. Like I'm sort of relegating the streaming to this Mac device originally, and now I'm having some issues with that too. I may now move everything over to the PC, the old PC, in the hopes that I can sort of run things off that. It's got more USB ports. It's, should I do Linux? Should I run Linux on this thing, or should I? Yes, Bud Rassin. That's what I want to do. I've got a couple of people have offered to send me parts, which is very, very nice of them. But I think I'm going to have to actually invest in one for my own work, because everything is failing. Like my laptop's going. I've got this wonderful MacBook Pro that Brian sent me when he upgraded, which has just been a lifesaver. I got to say, mine died and he sent it at the time. It was amazing. Bioluminescence. What a great name. Bioluminescence. What does it say? Bioluminescence. Yikes. Bioluminescence melody. Ooh, I like that. Once you have a puppy, take thousands of photos. You will never regret having too many. I know. Believe me, I know. David, pork steaks for dinner tonight. Nice. I made the most amazing sag paneer, I believe it was. Is that right? Sag paneer? It was the spinach and paneer and masala spice and stuff. It was a curry. It was like to die for. Linux can be a bit cumbersome to use if you're not familiar with it. Yeah, I mean, Linux is one of those things that I've toyed with, but very fine choice if you don't mind tinkering. The philosophy behind Linux is much nicer than a for-profit operating system. Yeah, Linux. Grove Spaz and Toasted. I agree. The reality is that I have very limited experience with Linux. I wonder from a streaming perspective. I thought, should I just set this up as a streaming box? It's an older PC, but maybe it would work as a streaming box with, I've got this AverMedia. Maybe would AverMedia work with Linux? Is a good question, actually, isn't it? Anyways, who knows? A great taste in cases. What do you like? What cases do you like? There's a fractal. I think it was it Cal? You were drooling over a fractal one of some sort. For streaming, go Windows if you want the least trouble. Okay, well there you go. Problem solved. I guess I'm going. If Linux experience is limited, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just another thing to have to learn. Monica Lake, I don't believe this Sunday. I think it's the Sunday after. And I got to figure out what to do because it's a double episode. I'm not sure if we can do like a full 2 hour. In that we do 2 or more hours every time we do one of those streams. I feel like I should, I think possibly 2 hours times. So a 4 hour stream might be a bit much for Bradley. We'll see. I don't want to lose, I don't want to force him into this. Graphics cards. Some are supported really well. Some are garbage. The GPU is a very integral part of streaming. I have whatever GPU came with a very kind package from PC Perspectives ages ago. They're all quite old. But then I have another one. It is an old AMD, but it's an old AMD. So it's before AMD got cool, if that makes sense. Hungry cats can be a pain. Look, I would just say cats could be a pain in general. That's like dog all the way. I'm definitely a dog. Am I AMD or Intel? I am both. So I bought a kick-ass Intel system that I thought I was going to be using, but it turns out apparently I'm not. It's now up in my son's room being used as his gaming PC. We have a friend of ours called Jack, who was one of my original tech bandits, is now like our PC gaming guru. He has recommended that he says it's time to go AMD and that I'm going to go AMD. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Sorry, Turtle Princess, we don't do every week. We do every other week. Just because I'm keeping in mind that my son is, some days he's very much into it. Some days he's not. And also I just don't want it to be, I want it to be laid back. I don't want it to feel like, oh my God, Sunday, David, I have painted several digital paintings of you. Wow. Including one where you were surrounded by lemon people. Ooh, weird. I just heard about another I know. We were talking about that, Mr. Dudley Eugen. And hello, Mr. Dudley Eugen, by the way. We were just talking about Grant. It's very sad. Very sad. And it's so young, too. You know what I mean? Of course, everyone seems young to me. But anyways. We didn't do this past David. Oh, did we not? Pac-Man? Oh, so it is this Sunday. Oh, there you go. So we are doing one this Sunday then. There you go. So what am I talking about? What do I know? Ask the stream. They know better than I do. So yes, so we'll be doing one this weekend then, I guess. I think we'll just do one episode at a time though. We'll keep the cliffhangers going. And if you are into stocks, you should get some AMD stocks. I did. Offset, I did. I got AMD stocks ages ago, actually. I've been an Intel guy all my life and switched to AMD for the latest build, in part because of the better performance, in part because of Intel's horrible response to the Heartbleed family of bugs. I know! What the heck, Grove Spaz? It's this prediction. They've got, so basically, branch prediction in Intel processors, if I've got this right. Basically, it means it's trying to guess what you're going to do next. But in order to do that, it has to sort of cache things ready to go. And there's a very, intense series of exploits for that right now. And while it doesn't really apply to our, while it doesn't really apply to single users, it's more about, network computers. I mean, shared systems. It's still terrifying that they haven't figured that out yet. So, and in fact, the problem is that it's because it's kind of built into the actual architecture of the chips. So it makes it very, very difficult. Yes, Kit Skyfire. I mean, it does come down to the deals. If there's a good deal on PC stuff, I'd go for it. Flare Spire. Hey, David, glad to be able to get here. Sent home from work today. Might have had an unknown stomach condition. All men on my dad's side of the family get, so yay. At least all the tech talk and such is cheering me up. Looking on the bright side. Well, look on the bright side, Flare Spire. You've been sent home. You're now at home hanging with us. I'm sorry, though. Tummies. I don't like tummies. I've always had a horrible gurgly tummy. All right, it can be exploited from browsers, though, so even single-user machines are vulnerable now. Wow. It's been a while since I normally listen to Security Now, which I just love. I love Security Now. I've been listening to Security Now for years. So I've not been listening recently, so I've got to catch up on that. If I were building a PC today, I'd go AMD. Yeah. No, I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, Monica Lake, good question. Baz, Overwatch Camp. We touched on it in PC Bandits last week, but not PC Bandits. I got to start calling it the right thing. Game Bandits. Game Bandits. But he really enjoyed it. I mean, he came out in the same way that I was kind of sad when I finished watching the entire season of The Great. I became a little, as Baz said, he said, I'm feeling a little, what did he say? A little melancholic. He's feeling a little melancholy. When he came out, he was feeling a little low. He just he really, I think he really enjoyed it. He really bonded with a bunch of people online. It's so funny to me because these are all friends that he meets virtually, and they become these really good friends. And Steve Gibson is fantastic. Steve is, I freaking love that guy. Leo and Steve, I love them both. 2-0 Dreamer. I've been watching Leo since the Screensaver days. Basically, people say, like, what would you do if you weren't acting? I want to be Leo Laporte. Like, I just think the idea of being able to play and meet all these tech people and the whole podcasting thing he's done, I'm a huge mega fan of the Leo Laporte and his whole setup. AMD is amazing. What was the point? Overwatch, yes. So the Overwatch camp was a huge success for Baz. Absolutely loved it. I'm trying to convince him to go back for the more advanced one, but he doesn't feel he's at the right level yet. He was definitely young and not positioned particularly high up in the scores. So I think he was. In fact, I think he dropped a bit because of the gaming camp. I think he's learned a lot of skills that will improve his game. But I think the actual week of playing, I think because he was learning stuff as opposed to just trying to win, I think it may have dropped him down a little bit. But he just loves it. Absolutely loves it. Yeah. You forgot about Security Now? Gold Top Cookie? What? I have not listened to it for a number of weeks now. But I do listen to I can't help it. This Week in Tech, I listen to like every single week. I just love that combination of people chatting on about stuff, you know. Did you mention to Netflix? What's this? Did you want to mention Netflix? Oh, God, I'm wearing a Netflix t-shirt. This is just frankly, I would call it my eating shirt. Basically, exercise and eating. I've been doing yoga instead of my burn and learn. So I miss my burn and learns, but the advantage of yoga is I get to do it with my wife. So Jane and I, we do yoga together. And while I don't get to chat with everybody, I do get to chat and laugh with my wife. And the reality is I spend so much time down here. She spends so much time up in the office working on her films and stuff, and Baz in the middle floor. I feel like I don't see my family. And I I think it means a lot to her that I'm doing it because it is such a, not a concession, but it's not really a Hewlett thing to be doing yoga. But she's sort of got me into it, and I decided that I'm gonna sort of embrace it, and mainly for Jane, and it's really nice. It really is nice. And frankly, I started off doing it for Jane, and now I do it for me. The yoga thing's kind of cool. It's sort of, it's like martial arts without the killing people part, I guess. Um, well, Mobile Toxic Waste and Grove Spaz and everybody here, Flare Spire, anybody who's talking about PC stuff now, please join us on Wednesday. Because Wednesdays, 11 a.m., I do Game Bandits. So basically, it's Tech Bandits. But what I discovered was that the Tech Bandits, there were a lot of kids who are only interested in gaming. That's it. Like, they basically glaze over at any talk of science or learning or any of that kind of stuff. So I thought, and some of them could be pretty difficult to work with. So especially when you move online, and there's just so many distractions, and I understand it's like, how boring is it to sit there listening to some old guy talk. So I try to get them all chatting amongst each other, and then I've discovered that when I started this Game Bandits thing, we brought in this crazy great group of people. Like, the kids really seem to enjoy and respond to it. And the idea is basically we talk about video games, we talk about streamers, we talk about all the meta and the Overwatches and the games and the upgrades and the betas and all that kind of stuff. But we just try to find little moments in there where they might learn something or get some insight into how to be better people or better cyber citizens, or let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about empathy for other people. Let's talk about technology and how it can improve the world, and then it just seems to be it's a fantastic little portal. It's a fantastic little Stargate into education. And I think more than anything, what I love about it is I'm seeing the kids on Discord now chatting amongst themselves and sharing links, and I just feel like I found my place. I feel like I figured out what I want to do when I grow up, and it's basically to help these kids connect and figure out what they want to do with their lives, because they've got so many cool things they could be doing, and I think sometimes it helps to have a grown-up who's just not grown up at all there to distract them with squirrels and such. So it's it's wonderful. It would be, I'm on Eastern time, so I'm on Eastern Daylight Time right now, but Eastern time. So I'm not EST, I'm EDT now. So yes, that's where we're at. So it'll be 11 a.m. It should be fun. I mean, as I say, it's just, I don't ignore the stream chat, but I'm definitely more focused on the Discord in my ear. So we have the kids on Discord. You can hear them as well when I get it right. You can hear them. And we just chat, and I let them chat. And sometimes you'll have to put up with a lot of pontification from either me or the kids, or arguments, or lots of people talking at the same time. But I really think it's kind of great. I feel like it keeps me young. Well, I mean, I don't know about physically young, but certainly on the inside, I feel like I'm one of the kids. It's kind of fun. So now that said, Flare Spire, I do record it as well. So it's on Twitch, and then I will move it to YouTube after if you want to see it. But if you want to be involved, it's just kind of, I love having people who know this stuff in there, because things will come up. It's great to be able to jump in and have these discussions. And obviously you're welcome to have these discussions amongst yourselves as well. So for some reason, I find the joy for me is in sort of putting the pieces together and seeing where they go. Bill Nye has a great way of putting it, where he talks about how he grabs strings, and then when you grab all the different interests and loves and for want of a better word, skills or passions and stuff, and you pull them all together, and then you've got your balloon, and that takes you where you go. And I feel like when I watch, even here, like watching different people connect because of what Baz and I are doing, or the kids and I are doing, I don't know, I get a real kick out of that. I don't know what it is. I believe a lot of folks wish it was still 2004 in the UK. Yeah, I'm sure kids. Yeah, I mean, what's funny, Skid Skyfire, well, Jane owns her dad's place out there in Warwickshire, and so we had lots of discussions about that. Lots of stuff. All right. Now, look, it's after 3. I should go because I'm going to have to start rallying the troops to go and pick up. Huzzah! The dog. Poor Baz is so adamant that the dog is not going to be called Huzzah, and I am so determined to only call this dog Huzzah. Oh my God, are you kidding? Can you imagine being on Adam Savage's Tested? I freaking love that guy. See, I told you I had remember I was talking about tummies? Listen to my tummy going. It's crazy. I'm so excited for you all with the new dog. I don't know, Ruby K. I don't know. I'm sort of excited. I can eat my after 8 p.m. mints now. Yes, you can. You're after 8s. Oh, I used to love after 8s. Thank you for streaming and enjoy the doggo. Thank you, Firavion. Firavion. Naming the dog Basil. Oh, Basil. Except she's a girl. So not that you can't have a boy's name for a girl, but I feel like she should have, I gotta somehow classy up her name of it. But I like Huzzah. So I shall have a great evening. Thank you all. And so, yeah, I should say the usual. Thank you very much to DStat for being our one and only sponsorship level Patreon, which I really appreciate. And if anyone does, by the way, if people have companies or things that they'd like to promote and I can help with that through Tech Bandits, that'd be amazing, because the idea basically is I'll do shout outs, I can do Twitter stuff, I can work something out depending on what you want. But the idea is that then we can sort of have some possible sort of corporate type sponsors as well to help out with stuff and expand this even more cameras, more mess, more cables. And also I really want to sort out I want to get the garage, especially now. It used to be the kids who come down here, but because of COVID, they need more space. I'm thinking garage. I'll take the garage. If I can maybe weatherproof it a bit more, squirrel-proof it a bit, then I could put 3D printers in there. I could put CNCs in there, and the kids could come in and, when they are free and do some playing with it. So Meredith is a good dog's name. It's very true. So yes, so thank you to DStat. Thank you to all of our Patreons. Thank you to all of the subscribers, because also the subscribing, it helps so much. It gives Baz some pocket money, which he's doing a very good job of spending. And certainly my share obviously just goes to Tech Bandits. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's a full-time job, says see you soon, Legend. I like Legend. What if we call her Legend? She is Legend. I like Legend. That'd be cool, actually. We are getting an 8-week-old Springer Spaniel on Friday. Spaniel. Wow. 8-week-old. You are asking for trouble, aren't you? Meredith. Mare. I like that. I kind of like Meredith, actually. I'm not sure I'll get away with that, though. Thank you for coming and being wonderful as always, chat. It's so true. Thank you, Cal. Why is Cal so nice today? I don't like it. Something's wrong. Mad Monkey! Was that your stickers? Was it Mad Monkey? That was your stickers, wasn't it? I found your... Hey, without... Are you the Mad Monkey? Is this you? Mad Monkey, is this you? Is this Mad Monkey? Oh, let me go that way. This way. More. Mad Monkey. I suck. There's such a delay. There you go. Hey, so Mad Monkey's in the house. Fantastic. Totally you. Well, welcome, Mad Monkey. Thank you very much. And thank you, Brian, as always, for being my head of marketing, it seems. Fantastic, Mad Monkey. So how did that work? Did you volunteer the stickers, or do they does Josh just pick them out, or how does it work? Cleopatra's a good name. It's very true. Cal, you're being nice and scaring me. No kidding, Xenos. What the hell is going on with Cal? Josh, you are friends. Very good. Well, I gotta say, I like the logo. My original Tech Bandits had a gear in it. Does it still have a gear in it? Actually, I can't remember now that it's got redesigned by the fabulous Jack Jasra. Oh no, it has a Stargate chevron instead, which is actually, I gotta say, way better. There's enough fabulous gears out there. Well, look, thank you, Mad Monkey. I'm so glad you came by. Cal's food's arrived, so she's being very nice, and that's a good way to get out too. Because if Cal's got to eat, I do not want to get between Cal and her food. Ooh, I'll send you a hollow one. Oh, I like that. Yeah, for sure. Mad Monkey, I'll definitely bug you about that. I love stickers. I'm really weird about stickers, though. I tend to not stick them. I tend to just magnet them to things because I don't want to use them. It's a weird kind of saving them for best. I don't know how it works, but okay. Cal's got to eat. I've got to go. I got dogs to get. I got dogs to disapprove of. So I guess until we geek again, I'll see you Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Game Bandits. So bring all of your PC gaming knowledge. Hopefully Cal will be with us too. She's always fabulous on there as well. And so yeah, we'll talk then. So until we geek again, huzzah! I gotta somehow incorporate huzzah into this. So until we geek again, huzzah!